E3 2019 has come and gone, and one of the most talked about games of this year's conference is without a doubt the new Marvel's Avenger game. My name is Ty, guys. I'm joined today by Sturtrix and Calvin, and welcome back to the second ever episode of Echo Games. Alright, so the topic for today's video is going to be 5 things that concern us about the Marvel's Avengers game, and the first one on our list, guys, is games as a service. So how do you guys feel about that one?
I'm thinking the biggest concern of this whole thing is going to be how they're going to have their revenue model. Is this how it's got to be a consistent model? Obviously, they want this game to last years and years. But the big issues here is how this is going to work. Is it going to be a subscription based like World of Warcraft, or is it going to be microtransactions? Is how they're going to feed off of it like Fortnite?
Yeah, and I'm betting on something like that, man. I'm betting on microtransactions. I think a subscription model. I mean, I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't pay a subscription fee to play it, as much as I love the Avengers. So I really hope they don't do anything like that, which I don't guess there's any word about exactly how they're going to do that. They have talked a lot about microtransactions. But anyway, number one is definitely games as a service. And I think that's kind of like a two-sided thing there. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I mean, I do want this game to last for years. If they can make this game fun for years, I'm completely on board. And, hopefully people are paying that, probably not me, but other people are paying that by buying DLC that I don't necessarily have to buy to get those free updates, those free DLCs that we've also heard about for this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But definitely with the revenue model, this can greatly shape how the game will be played out here. Because if they're not making the revenue back with microtransactions, they could switch over to a subscription basis.
I do have a bit of I worry with both, because if it is a subscription base, one of the main concerns is that it may do a Club Penguin on us and close down after
Yeah. And what Sturtrix says kind of concerns me too. Like, what if they're not making the revenue they feel they need off of DLC at first? Like, maybe that is the game plan, and then they could convert that over to some type of a subscription fee thing. Who knows, man? Who knows? Games like this sometimes are completely free to play, which this will certainly not be. But that leads us to the most likely option. The most likely chance that they're going to be getting this revenue out of is probably DLC, at least in my opinion. So, and if that's the case, it's not going to be that bad of a thing for games as a service, but still a concern, guys. Number one on the list. And again, these are in no particular order, so don't think this is like a top 5 worst things or anything. These are just 5 things that we're kind of like, hopefully they do the right things here when this game actually comes out, we can get our hands on it. So number 2, guys, naturally, is microtransactions. Oh, the days of microtransaction-less games, how they are gone, my friends, how they are gone.
Big concern here with microtransactions is they always have taken away a grind feel. I mean, comparing this back to Mortal Kombat 11 recently, you could
if you're buying them, I have to interject there.
Yeah.
Microtransactions take away a grind feel if you're the one buying them. If you're not paying for the microtransactions, chances are, man, the grind is heavy. The grind is real in your life. Yeah. I mean, we have some good news for the microtransaction segment. I mean, it's not going to be all bad, but so many companies just get so carried away. This is definitely a concern for us. We've seen what happens to games like Grand Theft Auto, and don't even really get us started on some certain companies, some certain developers out there in the industry that we all know and love so much. But microtransactions can be a huge negative, and they also can be kind of, they don't really, if you don't buy them, they don't really affect you too much. And that's really the way that it should be. And so far, like every game before it pretty much says our microtransactions aren't going to be that bad. That's pretty much what they're saying with this game. Saying there'll be no loot boxes, no pay to win. It'll pretty much, as far as we know right now, strictly be custom outfits for the character, which brings to mind one really cool point. We actually see a white iron suit for Iron Man in the trailer at the end for a brief moment. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about the microtransactions, how they might get carried away, and then also about the custom outfits? If that's all we're buying, how much money are they really going to make off of that? How many people are going to pay to change Hulk's pants or something?
Yeah, on that note, I was wondering if they're going to be doing DLC skins that you buy in that, are they also going to make these skins like just you have to buy it to get it, or are they going to make it so that you can actually earn the skins as like a reputational thing?
I assume there might be a little bit of both. I mean, I think the best of the... Yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like it's going to be like you can either earn them through the game, or you could just straight up purchase it if you're too lazy to actually work for it. Kind of like most of these other games where microtransactions are in play.
Which brings up another point of will people feel satisfied getting items if they know that other people can just pay a $5 and get it?
I don't know. I mean, everybody will have a different opinion on that, Calvin, but I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see myself paying any money. I mean, a white iron suit is cool, but I don't see myself paying extra money for that. And so I'm kind of skeptical on how they can make the revenue they need. Going back to number one, that continuing revenue model. If it's really just outfits, if it's strictly outfits, I don't know how much money they can really make from that, right? But to answer your previous question, Calvin, I think it might be a bit of both. Like maybe there's certain suits that you can't earn in game and you have to pay for, like maybe 2 or 3 premium suits that you can only buy. Probably. I could see it doing that.
Does that mean there'll be suits in the other perspective where you can only earn them, you can't buy them, so that people are encouraged to earn them rather than...
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm interested to see what our viewers think about some of these questions too. Yeah, that's kind of concerning, but no pay to win. There's going to be no pay to win, guys. So hopefully that's the truth. I mean, we'll see. I've heard people say that before, you know?
It depends how much they want to squeeze that gap.
Yeah, you know? Well, if it's purely cosmetic, it'll all be good. But no pay to win kind of leads us to the next portion of the video, which is 4 players. As far as we know right now, it's an online game, games as a service, which kind of makes me think like MMO, big like RPG type games. So how is that going to work with 4 people? You know, we're going to be playing in this game, but there's not going to be anyone else. It's this massive online game. But there's no one but you, like me, you, Startrix, and Zach maybe would be the only people in the map, I guess. That's how that's going to go.
That's just, it doesn't sound like an MMO sort of game, if that's what they're wanting to be, like a game service. And you're telling me there's only 4 people in this world.
Yeah, which is good and bad. Again, I actually put a question mark next to this one because I don't want to run into another, Iron Man or into another Hulk while I'm out there being Hulk. I want to be the Hulk. And so... yeah, I mean, I think 4 players makes sense. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think, 4 players in the map at any given time, and that's it. That makes sense. And then as they add more characters, which we're going to be getting to in just a moment, maybe that limit goes up, right? So when they add Hawkeye, maybe they add Hawkeye, then we'll go up to 5 players. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And or maybe something like once they get enough characters, the lobbies could get bigger, possibly. I don't know, maybe something like that. But it could be a negative if you have more than 3 friends. It could definitely be a bad thing.
I don't have any, so we're good.
Which brings in one question: how do they do the roster? Like, how do they pick? Is it just going to be who picks who first, or could it be 2
I bet
Hulks?
it's going to be like that. Yeah. I see what you're saying, though. Like people racing to the Hulk, which when me and Zach were watching the trailer, rip Zach, he's not in the video today, but we were watching the trailer last night, getting ready for the video today, and just kind of doing a little more research on the game. We immediately both called the Hulk, like at the same time. When we saw the Hulk in the trailer, I was like, I call Hulk when we play, and we both... so we're already getting on that, racing each other to which character we're going to want to play.
For the future of this game is, like you said, if the lobbies will open up more and more as more characters are introduced. I think that'd be really cool. Like in 3 years from now, you got 10 more characters. You just got a lobby filled with all these Avengers, but it's like each one of them is individual.
Right, which this conversation, man, with the characters and such leads us right to number 4, which is a negative for some people. I think it's going to be okay, depending on what kind of patience you have. I don't know. Some people may hate it, but yeah, right now, I mean, there's very limited characters. Startrix, what are the characters? Let's see. We have Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and Black Widow. Is that right?
Yeah, that's all we got right now, with Hank Pym appearing, but I don't know if he'll be playable.
Yeah, I saw that actually when he shoots that little bot thing or whatever. Yeah. They have a lot of characters to work with. That's one good thing. We may only have a handful of characters right now, but in the long run, they have a whole lot of people they could add to this game. I mean, tons and tons and tons of characters, so it could go on forever. Lobbies could get up to 40 or 50 people because there are 40 or 50 characters. I mean, the only problem with that would be, again, people choosing who they're going to play, right?
If I'm thinking here, with the amount of Avengers they have had in the comics, they have 2,000 Avengers. It's like some crazy numbers they've got. They have
Wow.
so many possibilities.
Yeah. Here's an idea, guys. Speaking of characters, what are the chances of us getting to play as the bad guy? Now, there's something that would intrigue me quite a lot.
Oh, like a game mode or something you're thinking?
Yeah, or maybe that can open the lobbies up more. Maybe you can pick a bad character, and then there can be the Avengers and a little crew of bad characters going on. Maybe 4 players there, and you could have some type of map type event going on where one team is wreaking havoc and the other team's trying to stop them. That could be pretty cool, man. I hope they kind of
so like a versus mode.
Yeah. Something like that. I hope they explore that. So the characters, again, it could be a negative. I think it's going to be a negative at the beginning, and then over time it's going to get better as they add more characters. And I think there's a lot of possibility. They could handle this really well and end up making something really, really cool, or they could handle it really badly and end up disappointing a whole lot of people. And judging by the outrage on the internet, I think they should just go ahead and put Hawkeye in the game. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like the world is crumbling for people that realize Hawkeye is not in the game. Probably the least loved Avenger.
Isn't he also the weakest Avenger?
I don't know if I'd call him the weakest Avenger, but
not anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't have powers. But anyway, that is number 4 on the list, which will move us on to number 5. Number 5 doesn't free flow from the last topic. Shame, man, I tried so hard. But PS4 exclusive. This again is a positive negative type thing. If you're playing on the PS4, you're probably like, yeah, why in the world would I care about that? If you're over on Xbox or PC, yeah, you may not be super excited to know, but it's not an exclusive per se, right? It's just like a special agreement kind of a thing where PS4 is going to get early access to beta and PS4 is going to get some extra cosmetic stuff, if I understand it right. It is definitely coming out on other platforms, though.
It's like Call of Duty. Call of Duty releases their beta on PS4 first, and then you'll get like cosmetics, stupid outfits or skins, whatever, for your weapons. Mm-hmm. That's how this is appearing to be. It's not like full blown like, hey, we love PS4. We'll put it on PS4 first.
So all you guys out there that were crying over Spider-Man, here's your chance to play in this world. And speaking of characters, in the last segment, Spider-Man better be coming around eventually for number 4, which we just mentioned. As of right now, I mean, I don't really care too much. The cosmetic stuff they give the PS4 players is probably not going to be that good. The only way this could be, who cares about the exclusive suit or something? I mean, it might be awesome, but most people probably won't care too much. The only way I think it could be bad is if beta, like the things you do in the beta roll over to where PS4 players get like a clear-cut advantage in the game somehow because they've had longer time to play.
You mean like in Destiny where people end up with weapons from the beta that were overpowered?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, like something like that could happen. But then also, does that really matter if it's a game like this where you're not fighting people? It depends on what they end up really doing with the gameplay. If we actually even fight other online players, because I mean, with the exception of some Civil War type story segment, without letting us play the bad guy, there's not really going to be much combat to be had between, you or I.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Like if you're telling me that I could get with a teammate who already has a bunch of weapons from playing the beta, it keeps me alive. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which brings the question. Is it possible this could be in the multiverse, meaning there could actually be more than one Avenger?
With all of these comic book type things, I mean, they do lean on that heavily. The fact that they can just pull any timeline they want to kind of out of anywhere. And they can mix characters up if they want to because of the plot of the story. They can kind of do whatever. That's a good question, Calvin. I hope they don't, though. I really, really hope they don't. If in my personal opinion, if I'm playing as the Thor out there, if I'm playing, I was thinking the Hulk, but if I'm playing as Thor, that's a good example too, out there on the map, I want to be the only Thor out there on the map because there is only one Thor, So yeah, if they do some multiverse crap where they like pull down 5 Thors and like, this one's from a different time spectrum or some junk and try to make up some story behind that, that's going to kind of put me off of the game. I really hope they don't go that way. But yeah, that's the list of our top 5. So we had games as a service as number 1, microtransactions as number 2, 4-player limit for online for number 3, the lack of characters and how they're going to do adding in the characters for number 4, and then of course the PS4 exclusive for number 5. And again, guys, those are in no particular order. I would like to thank my friends Sturtrix and Calvin for joining me and helping me out on the video today, guys. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the second ever episode of Echo Games. Please make sure you drop a like on it if you enjoyed it today. Share it with your friends to help this brand new little baby channel grow, and make sure you guys subscribe and ring that bell for more if you're into what we're doing here.